Oh, hello, Danny. Ranzo is quickly dragged into a tight hug. The woman's voice is coated in a thick, warm accent. She's extremely glad to see him. Hello, Mom. He hugs back and sways slightly in the doorframe. His mom steps back and looks him up and down. You've lost weight. You've lost weight, you have. Looking very slim. Thanks, Mom. So good to see you. And Riley, too. Morning, Miss Levant. Oh, don't you dare with all the formalities with me, Riley. It's Agnes. To you. Of course. It didn't hurt to have the reminder. You boys get inside. I got tea and biscuits in the living room. Told you. I sit across from Ranzo on the sofa. A plate of mixed biscuits waits for us on a walnut and glass coffee table. Ranzo already has a biscuit in hand. Agnes's arrival is announced by the clinking of cups and trays. How do you like your tea, Riley? I never really liked tea. A bit of milk, 1 sugar, thank you. Agnes starts to pour out 3 cups. I see Danny's wasting no time getting into the biscuits. Ranzo speaks between crunches. What else are they for? Aren't you having any, Riley? These kinds of biscuits sit 3 kinds of biscuits sits before you. Whatever you choose will surely alter your life path irrevocably. And say something immutable about you as a person. Custard, jam, or plain wheat? I feel like we're a sweets type of guy, so we would go with jam. I reach forward and pick up a circular, sugar-coated biscuit with a pool of red jam in the center. Yes, obviously, the best one. Why would anyone else choose anything else? I notice Ranzo's eyes follow my hand. He's quietly possessive over these ones. Agnes passes my tea to me before passing another to Ranzo. Thanks again. Not a problem, my dear. So tell me, how was your trip over? Wasn't easy. We had some stormy weather out on the bay and a radio outage. It was alright cut across the mainway, but a lot of long shifts on the approach because of the weather. I always worry when you talk about the storms. That's why I didn't tell you about it till now. It looked like you had a lovely weather before you left, though. Yeah, it's been nice living somewhere warmer for a while. Food out there is really nice. It's right on the border, so you get a lot of mixed together stuff. You'd love it. Next time you go out there, I'll stow away and you can take me along. How have you been, how have things been here? Well, aside from the plans, lately not much to say. I did some gardening for Miss Roosevelt recently. House, Mom? Yes, lovely place she has. Shame they kept it behind a wall. I think it makes it nicer for those who get to see it. A proper hidden garden. The tea is in their cups has all but run down. Mine is still about halfway finished. A timer beeps from behind the oven over in the kitchen. Agnes places her cup down and stands. Sorry, boys. I've got to see to dinner. I should get my stuff put upstairs, too. Coming, Riley? Sure. I place my cup down, tea still swaying in it, and follow Ranzo to the stairs. Ranzo's room feels practically untouched. The still air is pushed around by our presence. It's just as I remember it. It's been waiting for someone to return. Whoa! Ranzo slings his bag down on the desk and stands beside his bed. No place like home, right? His gaze follows around the room. His eyes tracking over every spot. His chest lifts with the expectation to laugh, but deflating as air whistles through his nostrils. You alright? He pauses. All good. He starts taking some things out of his bag, setting them down in an orderly fashion on the table. I feel a buzz in my pocket. Sal's calling. Hey, Sal. Hey, Riley. Her voice sways in high tone before breathes. She's walking somewhere? Everything good at Ranzo's? He's not picking up. Phone pressed to my cheek, I turn to Ranzo smiling. Never does. What? I lower the receiver to address him. Sal's been trying to call you. Oh, sorry, I had it on silent. I bring the phone back to my ear. It's okay. It's not. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. It's not. I was calling to ask if you guys wanted to go to the beach on Saturday. The beach? Bit cold, ain't it? Weather's been picking up lately in the week. Supposed to be in the 20s. Oh, that's warm. I peer out the window to see ripples of wind pushing through the sunflowers. Believe it when I see it. But sure. Beach this week, Ranzo? Sal says it's gonna be warmer. Ranzo shrugs happily as he continues emptying his rucksack. Don't see why not. Ranzo's good for it. Amazing. Great. There's a relief in Sal's voice, but she sounds worn out. I make my way to the door frame and hush my voice. Everything alright with you? Yeah. Just going to my mom's and dad's to get the car. Oh, right. It's good though, just a quick visit. Alright, well, take care. Let's talk about it at the pub. One more thing. Can Ranzo overhear the call? Ranzo continues to stack items on the table. Don't think so. Why? I'm going to get him a gift from everyone. A congratulations on the promotion. It's nice. Shouldn't be much, but would appreciate if you can chip in a fiver. I'll be getting it this afternoon, so if he asks, tell him I'm busy. Say no more. Thanks. See ya. Bye, Sal. Sal's planning away as ever then. Someone's gotta herd the group, right? What? Fair, I suppose. Haven't got long here, do we? Suppose not. Ranzo's face settles into a warm smile. Oh my god, this... Honestly, the background music is so nice. Best make the most of it, eh? He lifts a work-hardened hand to rest on my shoulder. His eyes, so restless when we entered the room, stay on mine as if ditched on a shallow bank. Spots of dust hang on sunbeams between us. His thumbs rub above my collarbone. I look up, past the wild new hair into his eyes I've always known. He looks older. Dan? Agnes's voice echoes up the stairs. Ranzo's hail falls from my shoulder. He blinks and looks from off his face. Yes, Mum? Could you help me peel the potatoes? Coming. I'll be back in a bit. He pauses for a minute, looks down, scoffs. His head dips towards his chest as he moves past me. As he heads downstairs, I'm left in the room alone. I wander around it, taking in the silence between the creaking floorboards. My eyes fall over objects which stick out like pins on a board, holding memories in place. Ooh. Let's go to the mandolin. A little brown mandolin rests on a stand. Like many things in the room, it looks freshly dusted, though the deep cracks in the wood are fuzzy with gray. Running a claw across the strings, they whimper out a lazy cacophony. It needs tuning. I think about Turanzo strumming at it in the old music room in the school. We used for rehearsals. Let's go to the game console. A gray superdrive sits below a television with a bulging black screen that distorts the room with it. Both are a few generations old. I remember sitting with Ranzo taking turns on the platformers. One day, his dad bought him a co-op shooter. He didn't get a second controller though, so I had to bring my own. Oh, jeez. Never finished it. Oh my goodness. I gotta fix my desk real quick. Alright. Festival poster. The poster shows a sunrise over dark hills, blending down to a cluster of stars. In front of them are names from performance and categories divided by genre. It's vanished, vandalized with whiteout marker in various spots. A string of eyes cross over the main stage artist. In one corner, a cock ejaculates over the logos of the festival sponsors. Lol. Between swirly squiggles, names are written. Besides ambient tent, someone has written K-hole corner. CD. No way. The CD is one of those burnable ones you use to get at stationery shops. Permanent markers written Siren demo tracks. Remind me why we spelled it with a Y. Copyright. Already another band called Siren. And it sounds more mythological? I press play. A few barely audible components rustle in the machine. An MP an MP3 file rattles through tiny speakers, but the sound is full of my head. Ranzo strums his mandolin and leads the vocal charge. He was so proud of this one. I remember when he first came to practice with it. I think I pretty match his voice. It's close. Marion shreds and her heart out on the guitar. Their solo was unnecessarily complicated. It rarely went smoothly at the gig. She'd blame it on Joe drumming too fast. It was so hard to get the drum kit recorded. I think Joe ended up doing most of it on the computer. Added some harmony vocals too. I pluck a simple tune on the bass strings. I wonder if I could still play it. Shut that idea down right now. Oh, I can't believe this still exists. When we got rid of all the old things, I thought I'd never hear it again. Make sure to get a copy. It's nice of him to have kept it at all this time. Those lyrics, though, they're pretty cheesy, but teenage angst has its charm. No, definitely too embarrassing. Enough of that. Move on. I sit down on the bed, feeling the quilt on my palms. I have a look at what Ranzo's been unpacking. By his bag, there are a few things laid squarely on the desk. A clear washing bag holding some decurling product, a comb and matte clay, a separate wash bag beside it, presumably containing the usuals, a wallet. The wallet rests on something, a small blue book. I edge forward, sliding the wallet from the top. The book is a deep navy, unmarked and unnamed, a thin strap wrapped twice around it tight. This is something private. I turn it in my hands. It's about the size of my palm. It looks unwilling to open. But that entices you more. My thumb itches against the neat little bow. Put it down. The allure of the bindings fill me with tension. The kind of tension that presses all around, like that strap is wrapped over my chest. But you put it down. My thumb itches against the neat little bow. But you put it down. I grip the book firmly between my fingers and thumb, pressing it forcibly on the table. I place the wallet back down on top of it, a heavy stone sealing something away. Like a good boy. Was that the wrong move? I lay back on the bed, looking up at the ceiling with my hands crossed over my stomach. My left one makes swirling patterns in the wool of my sweater. I hear clinking from the kitchen below, a laugh from Agnes, muffled words I can't discern. Thin walls in this house. It's not long before I hear footsteps coming up the stairs. As they approach the door, I feel one of the floorboards under the bed moving. Comfy, Robert? I turn my head back to see him, upside down in the doorway. I smile. Uh-huh. He walks over and lies down on the bed next to me. The mattress lifts beneath me. Give those taters a good peeling? Best they ever had. That what your dockyard boys tell you to? The soft edge of a fist hits my shoulder. Come off it. This is calming. Besides him in a ray of sun. Warm. Don't think we can manage lunch here. Too much going on for dinner. Mom's doing all the trimmings. Could get it in town. That's what I was thinking. Ranzo lifts himself from the bed. He stands silhouetted against the window, the tip of a sunflower rocking back and forth just outside. He reaches down to hold the wallet. He flicks it up into his hand and turns to me in one motion. Mum needs us to move some things out of the garage, but we could go to Fob's for a pasty after. Oh yeah, you've not had one since you got back, have you? Needs fixing. The garage seemed to be the only part of the house left untidy. The air is thick, a little damp, dust sticks to objects like second skin. Where Ranzo's room felt immaculately preserved, this place feels lost in time. Core, bit of a sty down here, Mom. Mum? That's why I need you to help me out with it. I just need you to get down those boxes on the top shelf. Right on. Ranzo pulls a stepladder out tucked behind the back end of the car, covered by a red cloth. The ladder looks rickety. You alright on that, Rans? It's fine. I'll hold it. I stand on the other side of the ladder, holding it firmly in place with both hands. Ranzo goes up and down it a few times, taking boxes and placing them atop an unplugged mini fridge. Stop looking at the way his shirt rides up. I'm not, I'm just... You're a parody of yourself. Ranzo passes the 3 boxes down to his mom, dusting his hands. Phew! Oh, thank you, Danny. Let's just get these into the living room, shall we? Agnes takes the smaller of the 3 boxes. Oh, Agnes leans, takes the smaller of the 3 boxes. Renzo takes one of the larger ones in both hands. I pick up the one on top of the fridge. It's heavy, and I need to spend a while balancing it properly before I can follow the 2 of them upstairs. My back twinges. You're out of shape. The 2 of them are out of the room as I place the box down to readjust. A few quick stretches, brace hand, squatting down to get a better grasp of it, I spot something jammed into the side. A small plastic fishnet. That blood? The rocks press hard into the soles of my feet. I regret taking off my sandals, but Dan's dad said they slipped if I kept them on. A clear plastic bucket swings in my hand as I use my other to steady myself, climbing the wave-bashed stone. Riley, hurry up! I clasp a small blue fishing net between my teeth and scramble forward. Coming? Reaching the top, I see them all gathered round the largest rock pool I've ever seen. 2 dogs and a wolf, all gray. The adult is the scruffiest of the bunch. There. That's the last of the adventuring team. Aw, look at them. So cute. Come on. I take the net in my left hand and waddle between the cracks in the stone. As I approach, Dan is hunched over the pool with a net of his own. I found a hermit crab. I hold the clear, upside-down castle up proudly. Some fish flit back and forth in the current, and a couple of ghostly prawns. In one of the turrets, buried in the sand, the legs of a crab poke out of a white shell. I got a bigger one. Eliza lets me look inside a round bucket. A large red crab slowly sidesteps around the base. Beady, stalked eyes survey the strange creatures above it. Whoa! What did you get, Dan? He's working on it. The scrappy gray dog is poised, net in hand, waiting patiently to strike. His dad places 2 hands on a large stone and braces himself against the side of the pool. Okay, ready, Dan? Ready, Dad. 3, 2, 1. The rock slowly moves, opening up a crack beneath it. A cloud of sand erupts. Now! Dan's net springs forward, jamming down into the depths. His elbow jostled with something, figuring out its weight. I got it! Riley! I hold out my bucket as Dan hoists the little net from the water. It bends its plastic neck, water arcing with a clumsy haul. The catch plunges into my sandcastle bucket. It brings with it scraps of seaweed and disturbed sediment. The water clouds. Nice job. What is it? What is it? The water thrashes, still muddy with debris. I hold up to the sun and we all wait for it to settle. Told you it was big. Silhouette is visible first. A looming giant within the castle walls. Slowly more of it comes into view. A fat, dark brown body. A small spikes around its mouth. It flicks its fins and spins around, settling momentarily each time. Dan, Eliza, and I stare in awe at the behemoth. You're a brave one catching that. He tussles the scruff of Dan's hair, who remains transfixed on the scene with his bucket. Sunlight tints the dull water. The fish gently turns above the smaller fish, the prawns and the reclusive crab. It's like we've lifted a chunk out of the ocean itself and frozen it in time. The calm is mesmerizing. Can we take it home? You're not allowed. Why not? 'Cause we live in the sea. It's salt water. We have salt in the kitchen. We can put it in a fish bowl. Liza's right, Dan. The sea's where they live. Ranzo's eyes turn sad as they follow the giant. But he's so pretty. It's not really pretty, but it's cool. I think he's pretty. It ceases a spiral, facing Dan directly. It's as though it heard the compliment. Dan's expression lifts again. I don't think this fish has ever heard someone call it pretty before. The water splashes again. Sediment kicks back up. The creature jolts into the turret of the castle. It thrashes and bites. The fish and the prawns push up against the see-through walls. They must be terrified, trapped by something they don't understand. Dan shrieks and steps back, the bucket falling from his frightened hands. It turns sideways into the water. All the creatures scatter to different corners of the pool. A fat shadow darts back to the boulder lair. The plastic castle floats, half submerged in the rocking water. My heart races. Dan covers his face, muffling in distress. Eliza stands to the side. Dan's dad kneels beside him, a firm hand on his shoulder. Hey. Dan stays as he is. Show me your face. He pries the pup's damp paws from his eyes. They're big and blue and full of tears. He chokes on his words. Come on, chin up. But he... That's how things are in the sea, Danny. The big fish eat the smaller fish. I feel my own throat tightening. I remember the nervous little crab hiding away in the most secluded spot he could find. Not secluded enough. You're both softies. Liza, that's rude. The attention turns towards me, sighing as he picks the bucket out of the pool. Water pours from the crack at the base. She's right, though. You boys ought to toughen up a bit if you're going to be real adventurers. Dan pulls himself to his feet, wiping his sniffling nose in his arm. Don't cry, Dan. It's just a crab. Sorry. Here. Taking his son's hand, he guides him around the edge of the pool. Tip yours out, Eliza. Let's head back. My shoulders shiver as I walk beside them both. Eliza jumps between the biggest cracks in the rock, down to the water's edge. She moves expertly, not spilling a drop from the bucket. Sitting at the edge of the earth, Eliza takes a last look at the red crab that she caught. It paces in the safety of its confines, no predators that snatch it up. She turns her eyes to the vast expanse. Dense and blue. Creatures far bigger than the fish waiting beneath its misty skins. Her ears goes flat against her head. She lets it go.